All right, time for another art talk. I figure it's time I put this onto video and give it the justice that it deserves. For the first time, I asked my sister, I didn't know she had one, to use the tripod. So welcome to eye level. We're finally, you, the internet, and people who are viewing this, and myself, are finally seeing each other eye to eye. Now, with some improvisational skill and with some first-time memory, I'm going to talk about this with some context here. You know, of course, the title is Space is Not Empty, and it's for my friend who's also he's a AME M class. He does I think he has M1 and M2 up here in Canada. So aircraft maintenance engineer, right? And I'm a structures. So as soon as I do my license, I will be aircraft maintenance engineer structures. So that's the big difference in classification between mechanics in Canada and in the United States, where you guys just get your licenses from a Cracker Jack box. Anyways, moving on. So the purpose of this painting started, of course, with the wave painting, which is For All the Women I've Ever Loved, which is the title, and when I talk about these things, everything, every stroke matters, every movement, every texture, absolutely matters. And like if you've been paying attention to my Instagram and with the progress photos, you'll notice that the blooms that were up here, I've painted over right now, and the camera has a hard time picking up the actual light, and I need some sort of filter because this is it's a high frequency light and it burns my eyes when I look at it. And this one here, that's a daylight bulb on the floor right now. I need more diffusion, more actual natural light, but I'm choosing to do this at 11ish p.m. right now. Yeah, about 15 after 11. So 23:11 for you military people. Anyways, going forward with this, of course, the man and his family are they're natives, right? They're equatorial natives, right, from the Caribbean, and so he's always emphatic about that, even though he always makes that distinction that he's not black, right? But through the political diaspora, these different shades of people, that politicizes them and divides them into different groups, and under this umbrella of identity, which is not something that he agrees with, as far as I know. From our conversations and from our attitudes toward each other. And he's helped me a lot in previous in hard times, and I've helped him with some labor. I would say he's pretty out there, right? He's kind of, some people would call him a space case. And so the paintings, I try to make them, if they're going to be for someone else, I try to make it about the person. I try to make it an expression of their personality, and of who they are and who their family is. It's not about me. I'm trying to get some sort of emotion. I want you to feel something when you look at this. I want you to feel something. I want you to cry, laugh, get pins and needles on your arms and get shivers all over. I want you to just feel like a human being for once. His career has been, been tarnished by people that don't understand him, much like myself, because he himself is very smart. He's very interested in electric motors and drones, and his intellectual capacity, when in my opinion, when he's more organized, is something to behold. but and the smart people are not always organized or you know, in 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 a fashion which might be logical. It's usually one place to the next, one place to the next, one place to the next, and I've been doing that a lot with the tints and tones in here, or the chroma, of layering and so forth, in order to give volume, which is very different from my previous space paintings, like this Horsehead Nebula, right? Very different. Like, this is very flat, if you ask me. This is very, this one I've did a video. This is 2017. This is one of the only paintings I did in 2017. And then of course the Peerless, which is behind here, which I'll bring back into the frame. So Peerless, right? This is Peerless. So the finish quality of what I'm looking for is this or better. Very shiny, right? I've stolen that from another famous painter, Francis Bacon, because he was like, I want you to see something of yourself in it, but not too much. And I don't want these to be in direct sunlight. I want I want it to blind you with brilliance, but not at the price of being physically blinded, right? So right now this is very much developing. It's a little bit more of a different technique than Peerless here, and eventually I'll talk about Peerless, but we're gonna put this away. Okay, so this will be, this will be number 5 of the space paintings that I've finished, or that I will have finished in my life. And if someone else wants me to do another one, I'm absolutely game to do so. These are some of the most, and I've said this in another video, these are some of the most challenging images I could ever undertake. And it's extremely rewarding once it comes all together, once the brain figures out what layers and what colors I'm going to put where, because the image does not reflect reality, right? You think about the source photo, which is from the James Webb, and these the representation, the color representation of the light spectrum, infrared, X-ray, and then the visible light. From each of these, and this is still missing, right? None of the stars are in this yet, and the stars will come at the end, because of the how much it will change the painting, and because the ones that I'm looking at, obviously you can't see this as the viewer, but on my monitor behind the camera here, my phone rather, behind the phone, is a lot of stars are blue, right, with white centers, so they're very hot. And then the clusters, the one cluster that's supposed to be up here is all red and orange and ochre, brownish, and so the gas fields behind it too. Now I talked about how there's different shades of black in here, and how I want to talk about how of course diversity, actual diversity, not this Marxist bullshit idea of diversity, because I feel like he and I share this idea of ethnic supremacy, in which we're looking out for our families, and our heritage and our lineages, and our legacies are the future of our own families, which is is justifiable by anybody, right? Like, we're all territorial, we're all seeking respect from each other, and is good fences make for good neighbors. Let's just leave it at that. And this has such a diverse a diverse texture and whatnot. And so like, I'll turn the light off here so maybe you can see something different out of it, out of the light. So you can see the different textures and stuff, the modeling, right? The different depths, and then the purple over here into the blue and black, and the brown. The brown I'm right here. I have to develop. Develop a bit more, and then so say in here in the center, that this is gonna take a lot more work. It took me five and a half months to finish. For that wave painting for all the women I've ever loved. So with that all things considered, this is say we're maybe about a month or so into it, and it's still. There's very good spots, and I'm gonna bring the camera in closer here, so we can talk about the finer details and the brush strokes that are really encouraging to me. Let's see if we can do a pan here. If it'll rotate. There we go. Creaky, creaky, creaky. Amazing what you can do with absolutely nothing, and family and friends, So you can see the changing colors in here, and the blues over into this horn here and in there. And then if I go over here, I'm gonna turn this light off, see if we get something better, or if we get more. There you go. You see the greens and the purple. Excuse me, sorry about that. And the different depths of luminosity and transparency. So then one of my favorite parts is actually right here with the red and the orange. That's to me, this is one of the best parts of this painting so far. And then this has to be developed further with the changing colors into the gas fields. And again, if you come over to this corner here. You can if this is a very harsh light. I try and put this under my shirt, see if we can get a better result. So as I pass the light over it, you can see how it's developing, and it's starting to look like a tiger in some regards, or like a brindle dog, right? Let's try the other light. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So without getting too much of my shadow in here, this here I like the changes. And I'm again doing some brush work, more and more brush work on this, and the harsh lines in this horn, and into the developing areas, or these developing areas, which again, because, well, black, it's not actually black, right? And black people are not actually black, right? Because of the melatonin, and so on and so forth. Going through this, and so there's blues in here, and the ochres, and again, this is on a base of ivory black. And yeah, so like again, this is still very rough, and it has a lot of character. You know, again, reflecting the person it's being painted for. And you know, I sort of started seeing like a wolf's head in here, different figures, and the fire. You know, let's pull this back here. Anyways, just like that, right? Um, Maybe I'll come back to this and I'll do a second part when I'm further into it, because you know, I'm very happy about the results so far, and you know, I hope that you enjoy this journey with me, because you know, that's part of the fun, is trying to figure out how the hell I did it, right? But I'm still trying to figure out some of this myself along the way, and I don't want to overpaint it. Right there again, there's one of the things with painting is that you have to figure out what to keep and what to get rid of, especially if it's you know, something as a huge amount of texture and volume and depth that is required out of a space painting in order to have a realistic and expressionist. That's what I'm going to call my style, is realist expressionism. Or expressionist realism, one of the two, because of the relationship between the technology right here and the art, right? The again, more of expression having to do with what it is to be a mechanic too, right? Because again, more input from the man himself and his family. Obviously, having come from poverty, poverty requires you to be more inventive and be more resourceful and to be smarter about things. You know, again, I hope if you're watching this, buddy, I hope you enjoy, and you know, we'll keep in touch through social media, as it is right now, as we're both live, as this video is being recorded, and that this painting will last beyond our own years, and it will become an heirloom for your family. Thanks for watching. This has been Art Talk with me, you know, Noel Steele, and this is Space is Not Empty, as it is right now. Today is the 21st of June, 2023.